All right, so how much of the UK tax system are you conversant with? As a skilled worker, a content curator, a self-employed, you know, do you know how the UK tax system, how it works? This is what I am here to talk about. Recently, I was completing a form as a content curator trying to monetize my Facebook profile. I was asked to input my tax details, including my NI. And on TikTok Shop, I recently got approved to run a TikTok shop. And I was asked to input my tax record, everything about my tax information in the UK. I was asked to input all of that in an account that I've not even started earning. I was like, wow, am I also supposed to be paying this? As a YouTuber, are you also supposed to be paying tax? As a skilled worker, how much goes out? How does all of this operate? This is what I am here to talk about today. Meanwhile, my name is Chinyere Ojike. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, and keep coming back for more. All right, so the UK tax system is based on a progressive model, meaning the more you earn, the higher tax you are expected to pay. This is like the law of demand and purchase. The higher the demand, the higher the production, isn't it? So the more the more you earn in this country, the higher tax percentage you pay. This is like people packing extra shift. If you like, spend 7 hours a day working. The more hours you input, the higher tax rate you pay in this very country. This is why it is advised that you slow down, take a break. Take a break, my brother, my sister. This money, this pound sterling is not running away. Yes. 10 years ago, I was in the UK. A pound was 250 to naira, and it keeps going on and on and on and on. These jobs we have in this very country is not running away. Healthcare job, whichever warehouse, your skilled work, blah, blah, blah. All of that, they have come to stay. They are constantly in demand of workers to do all of these jobs. So take it easy. Else you keep paying all these high percentage taxes all the time. Yeah. All right. So going back to the overview of how the UK tax system works. Taxes are actually collected by the HM Revenue and Customs and the HMRC. They are in charge of collecting these taxes. And what do they do with it? They use the taxes collected from skilled workers or minor workers, whichever workers are skilled. They use all these taxes in order to fund the public sectors such as transportation, healthcare system, all of these social amenities, education in the UK. Moreover, understanding this tax system is very much vital for immigrants to navigate their financial earnings and also stay clear from involving into troubles, legal issues in this country. So there are different kinds of taxes people pay in the UK, such as income tax, self-assessment tax. That's for people who are self-employed. If you are a content curator watching me right now, what kind of tax do you pay? I will be talking about all of that here. So one is income tax basis, which is divided into different bonds with different percentages for different income levels. So most workers in the UK pay income tax through the pay as you earn system, where deductions are made directly from their salary. Immigrants should know the income thresholds for these tax bands to calculate how much tax they are required to pay. Number 3, we have the national insurance tax. It's a kind of tax system that contributes to certain benefits, such as the pension, healthcare, those on benefits. They take out this money from your NI in order to sponsor these people or to finance them through the benefit system in the UK. So basically, immigrants working in the UK are required to make national insurance contributions if they earn above certain threshold. These contributions help to build your entitlement to public services in the future. So number 4, we have tax residence and domicile rules. What is this all about? To determine how much an immigrant needs to pay, it is important to understand the concept of tax residence and domicile. If you are a resident in the UK, you are typically taxed on your worldwide income. Are they saying even if I travel outside of the UK, you are also supposed to pay tax as a UK resident? The UK uses what is called a statutory residence test to determine your tax status based on how many days you spend in the country. Number six is the self-assessment taxes. This is the tax I am supposed to be paying as a content curator, including you yourself. If you have a Facebook that is making you money, a TikTok account that you are earning from, YouTube account, you are supposed to register for this particular self-assessment form. You are expected to pay both income tax and national insurance based on your earnings. So they said you are expected to keep appropriate income taxes and expenses in order to ensure appropriate tax reporting and minimize liabilities. You have to be accurate. This April, I'm going to be completing my tax assessment form. However, I'm coming to that. There is a certain amount of money you earn, you get taxed. But even at that, you are expected to fill up this form whether you are earning below that amount. I think I will come to that in this video. Seven is a consumption tax, which is called VAT. It's a kind of tax that is added to goods and services, consumed in the UK, which is capped at 20% of whatever you are buying in the UK. You got to pay 20% tax on it. It's something else in this part of the world. This is something that is different from Saudi Arabia, Middle East. When I lived there, they don't pay this VAT, value added tax rate on goods and services. No, they don't charge such. Funny enough, this particular VAT is paid by certain business owners, when they exceed certain threshold. Yes, they charge them 20% off, but guess who pays? We, the customers, the consumers, who pay for this tax. Hence, the business is being taxed to pay that VAT. Then they generate it by what we buy from them. So indirectly and directly, we, the consumers, are the ones actually paying this value added tax on the goods and services we consume in this country. Not really the business owners, but then they say the business owners should understand when their businesses exceed certain threshold, especially immigrants, they are required to be paying this VAT. So number eight, we have the tax reliefs and allowances. What are they? There are various tax reliefs and allowances available to reduce the amount of tax you owe, depending on who you are. Tax relief and allowances could come in form of child care support, pension, marriage, all these allowances they provide to people in certain categories. It is also advised that immigrants should familiarize themselves with all of these tax allowances and tax reliefs, and take any advantage of anyone you are eligible to. Find out very well if you are qualified for any of these tax reliefs. If you are to earn child support thing, grab it if you are qualified for it. Pension, grab it. Marriage, all of that, endeavor to grab it, but verify first before you open yourself up to what is it called? Recourse to public fund when you are not allowed to. Number nine, filling your tax return. Many immigrants are actually advised or required to complete their tax return, especially if you are self-employed, as myself, or you have different streams of income. And it must be capped at certain amount annually. You are expected to file this tax return so that you get refunded. Meanwhile, when I did my first care job here in 2021, when I left in 2022, my company automatically completed that for me because I was working as a part-time, just 21 hours in a week. By the time I terminated my contract, I had a tax return. I had about 700 and something pounds, yes, sent to me here in a post as a tax return. I never applied to it directly. I think my employer did. They directly did because in a month then I was not earning up to that threshold, which is 1,200. Sometimes I earn 1,100, 900, depending on how much extra shift I did. But basically I was earning 800 and something in a month as at then. So that was how I was opportune to get that tax refund or tax return, 700 and something plus. I was really excited having that money back, even when I didn't ask for it. But find out if you are to file for what? Tax return. However, there is also a deadline for return and paying any old taxes. They said it is the 31st of January of each year. You are expected to have filed for any tax return. Okay, so number 10 is getting a professional help because they said tax rules as something that can be complicated, difficult for some immigrants to understand or even interpret. So they advise you might seek help from a professional, an accountant, or your bank manager, yes, in order to advise you on certain amount of money, especially if you are entitled for tax return, so that you can file for that tax return and get that return so that you don't miss out on anything. So ask questions when you do not understand that, because getting this tax information from the right qualified person would definitely help you take advantage of all the deductions, tax deductions that you are supposed to earn, not miss out on anything. Meanwhile, thank you once again for staying with me today. I am still Chinyere Ojike. Like my video, subscribe to my channel, and keep coming back for more. Bye.